Hey everyone, I'm back again with a new video. It is October 18th, and the last time that I checked in with you was in September, um, mid-September. I was like on my 18th day of the liquid fast, and since then, me and my husband, we've moved back to Georgia, and a lot has been going on with us. We're still in transition in regards to our place. It's still getting fixed up or whatnot. I still need some work done on it. So, you know, I know that everything happens for a reason. And I think about things, and I know that in the past I would have been more upset, more bothered, more frustrated. But I feel like, you know, what is it? I mean, I'm thankful I have, family here. I'm here in my sister's place, and we're good. And we're going to be moving into that place, soon, very soon. By, definitely by November because she's leaving for Charlotte in December. So for sure, something's going to come. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about that. I'm having faith in that. And I think about life and how far I have come thus far. And I feel like sometimes, you know, situations are presented for us to be still. Like for me, in particular, for me, I feel like this is a moment to be still and to have faith and to appreciate what is available to me because I'm in Savannah, which is on in the Savannah area on the coast of Georgia. We were affected by the hurricane. Now, not as bad as Haiti and probably parts of Florida, but we've experienced flooding and some people's homes they really are affected by it. And I give thanks that despite the fact that I'm still waiting to get into my home that I'm going to be living in, I'm still thankful that I really wasn't affected as I could have been. You know what I'm saying? During the time that they were telling all of us to evacuate from the area was the same weekend that I was going to have to go to the DMV area to Laurel. It was that same weekend, and I had ironically got my flight. I was flying out of Charlotte, and normally I would have did Jacksonville or Savannah or or even Charleston or something like that, somewhere around that area, or depending on which flight gave me the best fare. However, because of the circumstances or whatever, Charlotte was the best bet. And since my mom only lives like an hour away, that's where I went to get my flight. So because of that, I wasn't affected by travel. I could have been. And I give thanks for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really kind of bummed that I had to go out of Charlotte. So I was like, it's closer to go out of Savannah or, Jacksonville. But I give thanks that because I chose Charlotte instead, and I know that was nothing but spirit, um, because of that, I wasn't affected. I was able to get on my flight on that Friday, no delay, even though it was raining, no delay or anything like that. Landed safely, did what I needed to do that weekend. And then on that Monday, went back, flew into Charlotte, and my husband picked me up. So I give thanks for that. None of my family that I know of that had any major damage to their homes or anything like that. Um, you know, and I'm trying to think. I was, I can really say that I was blessed. I had no issues as far as with the Hurricane Matthew, and I give thanks for that. And I was able to come and me and my husband be here with my sister for the time being. Being around her more, being able to talk to her in the flesh, and she's been on the go herself. I feel like we've been on the go, she's been on the go. Um, we did go to Atlanta. We did stop in Charlotte. Was in Columbia for a night because I had to fly out. So I stayed with my parents' house in Columbia. Um, what else? Went to DC. I had to stop to DC and get my raw food from Kefra's. It was really good. I like that. And I just been doing my thing. I'm in a personal development program, so I've been doing stuff with that. Um, um, I just been really still, and sometimes, the way society is that we have to constantly be moving at all times. That's why I feel like that's what we're taught, to be constantly in movement, and not take the time to relax and chill. And I've been realizing how important that is, because that's when I can truly tap and get clarity on things. And I've been doing a lot of reflection of myself and how powerful, I am, how powerful we all are. We just have to know that we are, and how the experiences of my the experiences that I've been experiencing, I feel like I'm talking in double, how that has affected my life, and how things have manifest. And one of the things that I am really being more mindful of is what I say, what I do, and how it impacts not only myself, but it impacts everyone around me. And how I am, really wanting to heal. And I know that I've been on this journey for a minute, you know. I'm just more aware of it now. And I'm just so gracious for just being open to be aware. And it's a beautiful thing. Oh, there's just a lot. It's a lot of internal stuff that's been going on with me, but it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. One of the things that I've learned is that society teaches us to focus on mental so much, to focus on our mental intelligence, how we take in information, and how smart we are, book smart, just think about school, and you know having great grades, competition, things like that. But we're never really taught, on a universal scale, like when it comes to the society, about really feeling. And I'm really learning about that, like being more mindful of my feelings and how I truly feel. And of course, because I'm really big into incorporating all aspects of health, not only the mental part of it, the spiritual, the emotional, the physical part of it. And that's part of the reason why I want to do what I want to do, is that, like I may have said in a previous video, that so many people, they want to feel better, they want to look better, they want to feel better. And sometimes it does take something from a physical standpoint to really make a shift. And my thing is that when someone use my services, as far as meal plan or consultation or whatnot, that yeah, you may want to at first lose weight, or you may want to at first you know want to be vegan or whatever like that. But then as you go through the journey, and I support you, as somebody goes through the journey and I support them, they'll see the bigger picture. They see that it's more than just the losing the weight, the physical body, that it's about, how my emotions, for me, like how when I crave certain things, how that, where that stems from. If it stems from something emotional, from an experience, from a belief system, from maybe even something ancestral that has nothing to do with me, but it's in it's in my DNA, and I'm just impacted by it, but not even realizing it. And that's why it's so important to know thyself. It's important for me to know who I am. I know the reason why I'm back down here is because to get more connected, because I don't know what it is. Maybe I do know. Whenever I say I don't know, I do know. It's just that either one, I don't want to talk about it, or I don't want to talk about it, or I don't feel like getting deep into it to talk about it. So pretty much I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to face it if I say I don't know. So I do know. One of the reasons why I'm down here is because I know my spirit wants to be back down here. Or people may say there's a calling to be back down here or be there. You know what I'm saying? I know that I'm supposed to be down here for a reason. And I'm And my thing is, there's so much going on in the world today, but especially here in the U.S. There's a lot going on. We have these elections. We have all this stuff going on with the police brutality and all of this, the riots and things like that. There's so much going on in the world. And to me, this is the universe way of getting us to wake up and to come to a sort of a balance, because there is greatness, there's light. And sometimes we need a little of the opposite in order for us to come and have a balance and some kind of equilibrium, you know? So for me, I know so many people are talking about this election. I don't really talk about stuff like this on here, but people talking about this election, and my mind is, that is, to me, the things that are going on is it's time to get my mind right. It's time to get my mind right. It's time to go within, and figure out who I am and what I am. Not what I do, but who I am as a person, as a woman, as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Who I am, you know? And it's just so important to love on myself and be aware of who I am. At the end of the day, it is just so imperative. And I know that coming back home, coming back to my roots, is the starting point for me, because I feel so much more connected. You know, I feel so much more connected. I remember my mentor, Sister Lisa. I remember her telling me when I was visiting here. Before I moved here, she was telling me to, make sure you call your spirit back to your body so that you can get what you need to do done when you're in Delaware. And that's something that I did this week in regards to making sure that I stay grounded. I've been really focusing on being grounded, and that's one of the things that I did, is that I made sure that I called my spirit back home here. And I called my spirit back from, because I was in, I've been traveling a little bit. I've been traveling a lot. I'm going to be traveling a lot now. But you know what? Me being a 5 life path, that makes complete sense. Like, I need that movement. I need that experience. Like, and for those that don't know, like, in numerology, it's a study of numbers, and we each have a life path, which is pretty much our life mission. What we're meant to do in this lifetime. It's like the theme of what we're meant to do. And for me, it's a 5. It's a 5, which represents change, represents creativity, represents, freedom, things like that. Just think of, like, to me, I'm a Leo, and it just so happened that I'm a life path 5, and Leo is the 5th sign of the zodiac. So think kind of sort of like the characteristics of a Leo too, if, to make it more simpler, if you are familiar with the zodiacs. But yeah, so me traveling, doing all this traveling, which is something that I wanted to do, it makes complete sense. I do need movement, but I also understand the importance of being still, because when you are moving around too much, then, when I'm moving around too much, then I'm not grounded. You feel me? So I believe there is a balance in that. However, I know that it's important for me to tap into my creativity by having experiences. That's imperative to me at this point. And right now, I know that I'm in my 9 personal year. And for your personal year, we are each assigned personal years based upon our date of birth in the current year. So for me, it's August 19th, 2016. So you add all of those numbers to up. You add all of those numbers. You pretty much break those numbers down until it's a single digit number, unless it's like a master number. And I know this if you're not familiar with this, I apologize. I kind of made this sidetrack, started talking about numerology, but you can definitely Google numerology or get some numerology books if this intrigues you. But my personal number is a 9, which represents completion, endings. So for me, and I mentioned this in other videos, I left my job, my 9 to 5. Me and my husband, we moved. It's just a lot of, just releasing old beliefs that no longer, like, benefit me anymore. Becoming more aware of my thoughts and how that affects me and affects others around me. It's just being more. It's my responsibility to take ownership of my life and recognizing that everything I say and do and act on affects everybody. And it's just imperative for me to make sure that I am in alignment with the truth as much as I can be. As much as that's my obligation. Not saying that I'm going to be perfect at all times, but even during those times where I may not, you know, operate from my highest self, that I can at least recognize it enough to know that, okay, what am I supposed to take from this? What am I supposed to learn from this? Just being really self reflective. It's just that's just important to me. I can no longer, be, I can no longer live in unconsciousness of just not being aware. I know more. I know better. It's one thing if I didn't know any better, but I know better, so I got to do better. And but at the same time, I know that it's important for me to have self-love, to be nurturing. And that's one thing I'm learning about myself, is that I need to be gentle to myself. I need to take care of myself. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I have been doing, you know? And one of the things that I'm learning is that sometimes when you're on this journey, what you do is not going to make any sense to nobody else. Select few may understand, but there are going to be many that don't get it, that don't understand. One of the things that I'm learning is that it doesn't matter as long as I know what's going on with me. You feel me? So, with all that being said, I feel like I just was talking, rambling. But I feel like I needed to come on because I haven't talked to, I feel like I'm saying talk to, but yeah, I guess, yes, talk. I haven't talked to you guys in a while. So yeah, but I will tell you this is that um, I'm very excited about what's to come, especially when we actually be in the city, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of events that's going to be coming along, that's going to be in alignment to what I'm interested in. So that's my time to really start connecting with people starting this weekend, because there's going to be like this little, just like this vegetarian vegan festival on Hilton Head. So I plan on going to that, and I'm excited about that. Something like that in Savannah. I really want to start um, learning more about the Gullah Geechee, learning even more about that, for sure. I do want to do some family history. I'm going to be doing some of that also. I also want to start, coming up with more brainstorming ideas as far as my business and where I want it to go. Um, but I feel like I'm in like this waiting period, this waiting, like, because like I said, because this is my 9 year, this is the time of completion. So it's not necessarily a time to jump off and start doing a whole bunch of stuff. However, for anyone that, needs support or wants any meal plans, you can always go to loveinfinitenature.com. You can also follow me on Tumblr at Infinite Nature, or Facebook at Infinite Nature, or Instagram Infinite Nature 1, Twitter Infinite Nature 1. I'm always posting things that I've made, as far as, raw food. You may see some older pictures on there from when I was starting off vegan, or some of the dishes that I made as starting that I made that were cooked vegan foods or whatnot. But I do have videos. I do share that on those other social media, um, um, the other social medias that I have. So you can check that out. And sometimes I share like books that I've been reading. There's some books. There's one book that I've been reading, called Anatomy of the Spirit, and it's a great book. It's by Carolyn Meese. Miss Miss or Meese. She's awesome. She's a medical intuitive, and so she can intuitively diagnose people with something, like if they have a medical condition or issue before they even officially diagnosed. She's really good at that, and she focuses on the seven chakras, or which are the energy systems, and it's like amazing. The first book I got from her was The Sacred Contract, which pretty much talks about your life path, what your life assignment is, and how to determine what it is, and things like that. I haven't completed that book, but the reason why I feel like I haven't completed that book was because I was supposed to read these two other books she's had that I found at a used bookstore for cheap, compared to what I bought for the sake of contracts. Even, but I bought the sake of contracts because that book was just really calling me to buy it. So I read the power of the I read the Invisible Power by Caroline Miss or Miss, and I also bought the Anatomy of the Spirit. And both of these books are so amazing, and I don't know if I brought up the story that I had. I know I didn't. I didn't, but me and my husband, we recently got a massage from someone, and he just so happened to be blind, and he was awesome. I didn't even expect that. That he was going to be blind. I didn't know. I had no clue because my husband didn't know either. You know, and but it was a great experience. It was very humbling, and it inspired me. And to me, that's invisible power. When you have those type of interactions with people that you never met or never knew. And the funny thing about it is that he grew up on the street that we were going to be living on. So it's very amazing how we connect with people. It's very amazing. And I'm definitely going to use him again for his services. He was very good. And he's just now getting out there trying to build up a clientele and things like that. And he's a brother. He's a brother. He's a black brother. So definitely I'm for supporting black businesses for sure. So anybody in the Savannah area that wants a massage, then you can definitely hit me up and I will give you his information. You can hit me up at um, loveinfinitenature at gmail.com. Loveinfinitenature at gmail.com. But yes, that was, man, it was very humbling. Like, just seeing him, do his thing, because because you don't have your eyesight, you have to use your other senses. Your other senses is heightened. He uses his hands, to feel, to see. And I just thought that was just amazing how he was well versed on. You knew that he took what he did seriously, and I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. So yeah, but the reason why I brought that up was because of the invisible power, and how she taught in the book, she goes through each chakra and things like that. And I don't want to give too much away, but she shares stories that people have sent her about ways that where people have done things for them, ways that people have done things for them that made them feel good, made them feel empowered inside. And she goes from the lower levels, which is more so external, and then she goes up to the more internal ways of having power. And then in her other book, Anatomy of the Spirit, which is I think probably the most popular one, that one's freaking amazing. I love it. I'm on that now. I'm on like the last chapter, but I really enjoyed that book. It's just confirmation of the things. It's just further confirmation of what I've been experiencing over the last several years, especially the last year or so. It's like whenever your body or whenever your spirit tells you to do something, you need to do it, because you know what? Believe it or not, and I think we really underestimate how our environment, how what we think affects our life force. It affects our energy. And when when we are not in alignment of our truth and in alignment with what we're supposed to do in this lifetime, our bodies start telling us things. And if we don't listen, then man, things start happening. And that's one of the things that I'm being very mindful of. You know, that's why I had to, like, that's why it was in my spirit to come back home. And I said, with all this stuff going on right now in the world, we really got to, I really know that I'm going to speak for myself. I got to get myself together on the inside. I got to, you know, I got to, for my sake, for us all, because we are all connected. So it's a really deep thing. That's why I want to come home. I want, to eventually get our own land. That's the next goal, is to get some land, have a house built, have a grow our own food, create our own products, just pretty much be self-sustaining and support others in the community to do the same. You know, that's what I want to do. That's the ultimate goal. It's a vision right now that is slowly manifesting. I'm in the phase of the experience of it. But right now I'm in like a waiting period, a holding um kind of like a waiting period, but not really. I'm just embracing it right now. I'm embracing it, because the way that my mind is set up is always wanting to control or to do this and to do that. So it's really taking a lot out of me to not be so um just be so you know. But I feel like I've gone, this video was longer than what it was meant to be. But like I said, you can always follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, whichever is your preference. Everybody has their favorites. Facebook, Facebook Infinite Nature, Tumblr Infinite Nature, Twitter and um, Instagram Infinite Nature One. You can go to the website at www.loveinfinitenature.com. If you want to send me an email or anything about any questions that you have, or if you're in the Savannah area and you're interested in the massage, then I can give you the guy's name. And I believe he goes to people's houses to do it, which to me is very convenient and it's a very decent price. So you can, send me an email at loveinfinitenature@gmail.com. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful, wonderful day. See ya.